Okay, so a week ago Saturday, I made my video stating that I was going to pull the motor out, which I did. Pulled it out, put it on the engine stand over there, and just went through the whole thing. Turned it upside down, put a new oil pan gasket on it, new oil pan, new timing cover gasket, cleaned it up real good, and just repainted the whole thing. Painted the intake and the engine, and I had the headers powder coated. And I redid the entire engine compartment. So this has all been repainted. The wheel wells, the cowl, the firewall, the radiator, everything. Put a new coolant bottle in it. Painted the alternator and did the pulley in Chevrolet orange. I've got this flex fan on it for right now, but that's just temporary. I'm going to do electric fans up here against the radiator. So just for the time being, I'm doing got the flexi fan. New valve covers, new valve cover gaskets. I redid this. This is the MSD, the multiple spark discharge ignition. Just re-loomed all the wires. It was really, really sloppy in here, and I painted it and the coil, Chevrolet orange. Repainted the transmission dipstick, and just tightened up everything. It all went pretty well. When I started it, I had a couple of issues. It started up just fine. It was running good, and all of a sudden I looked under the car and there was an oil puddle forming. Right when I went to shut off the car, it shut off on its own. So I flipped out, thought I toasted the motor, and then it wouldn't crank. And I thought, oh God, it's locked up. I'm screwed. Saw dollar signs flying out of my wallet. It turns out what happened is there's a sender unit back here under the exhaust for the oil pressure gauge, and when the headers got hot, that was touching the header, and it made a nice big hole in it and pumped out probably about a half a quart of oil. And the reason the engine shut off, what was happening was simultaneously on this side, as the header got hot, there's the positive lead to the battery that melted onto the header and shut off the engine. So it's really the only two problems I've had. I've been checking every day for leaks. So far so good. I've been real paranoid about driving it. I mean, every little tiny noise I hear, I think something's grenading. It was definitely the gnarliest job I've ever done. I know many of you, pulling a motor is no big deal. For me, it was a learning curve, and it wasn't easy. Let's put it that way. So anyway, next and finally, I'm finally ready for paint. So going to start stripping it down and getting it ready for paint. Narrowed it down to a couple of colors. We'll see what happens. But that's that. Okay.